What we've got here is a roofing ventilation system. It allows or facilitates calculated airflow to come in at the eaves.
I'm here today with James. How are you, James?
Yeah.
So can you tell us about this insulation system that you've created now?
Yeah, certainly. So what this is in the National Construction Code 2022, in zones 6, 7 and 8, they're going to mandate passive roof ventilation. So in line with NCC requirements, what we've got here is a roofing ventilation system, which basically it allows or facilitates calculated airflow to come in at the eaves. We get it in unimpeded past the insulation, so make sure that when we've got the airflow in, the insulation isn't pushed in and blocks the airflow.
Yes.
And then we create a negative pressure system by applying ventilation at the ridge. So what you have there is a constant moving airflow system which will allow warm moist air through natural convection as well to escape the roof cavity. At the same time, with a vapor permeable membrane, should you have moisture on the underside of the membrane, putting a batten on top of that vapor permeable will allow the moisture to permeate to the top, and we've again created a ventilation and drainage cavity which will dry out or allow the airflow, any moisture to escape. What it also does is prevents any dew point transference. So if you have a large variance of temperature and you get condensation on the underside of the roofing iron, that doesn't transfer through the membrane, and basically just creates a constant drying out and drainage process for the roof cavity.
Okay, so let me ask you, so in regards to the traditional systems,
Yes.
how much more energy efficient is this to the home?
So because we'll be moving the insulation onto the ceiling, okay, it won't affect anything you do below the insulation. But what we are doing is that we're going to reduce heat in the roof temperature, and if the insulation gets moist, as it can currently, that destroys the R values, which would have an adverse effect on your energy ratings. By keeping the moisture escaping the roof cavity, it safeguards the insulation and the R values of the insulation.
Okay, so how much more labor time does this add?
Good question. So depending on the combination of products that you would use, which varies depending on the design of the roof, you're probably looking on an average 220 square meter house, probably an extra 3 hours labor maximum.
That's all, 3 hours labor.
That's all. But what it also would do is replace the need for the old unsightly whirlybirds, which stand out like the big mushrooms on there, and you're not putting holes into your roof.
Can you tell us a little bit about your wall ventilation?
So we basically, for lightweight claddings such as your fiber cement or cedar claddings, what we want to avoid is direct fix of those cladding systems onto the framing. So we put in a 20mm batten, which again just facilitates any drainage or airflow to keep the membranes dry.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.